There are also implications abroad to what is happening right now. So let's bring in our senior U.S. correspondent, Mike Wagenheim in New York. So, Mike, Israelis still digesting the shock announcement, this political earthquake in recent hours, the government to dissolve next week. So when President Joe Biden visits Jerusalem in July, he will likely meet with interim Prime Minister Yair Lapid. Is the trip still on? What's the latest?
It's interesting, Benita. People usually say we are doomed before they bring me on the air. So looking ahead here, yeah, it certainly looks as if Yair Lapid is going to be the one to welcome Joe Biden when he hits the tarmac at Ben Gurion Airport. The bigger picture here is, how does this impact American policy? You know, there's always been this protocol, Donald Trump notwithstanding, that American presidents, American administrations don't meddle, don't get involved, stay away from foreign countries, visits to foreign countries, high-level visits to foreign countries during election season. Well, election season has begun. It began this morning officially. Some would say it began weeks ago. So when Joe Biden lands on July 16th or whatever it's going to be, right in the midst of an election season, it will be a tremendous photo opportunity for Yair Lapid, a tremendous photo opportunity for whoever is going to be running with Lapid. So from that standpoint, you know, it kind of makes you wonder about how Joe Biden is going to play this. Keep in mind, it's not going to be with Bennett. It's going to be with Lapid, who identifies himself with the Democratic Party. One of his chief strategists, Mark Mellman, is a Democratic Party operative. And so they're very much in alignment politically here. Biden, if he wants to play it traditionally, as he seems to be a traditionalist in the role of the president, may take it upon himself to try to make sure that the optics even out, to maybe give himself a meeting or photo opportunity with the opposition leader, Benjamin Netanyahu, if Netanyahu takes him up on the offer, because there's still some bad blood that goes back there between Netanyahu and the Obama administration that Biden served under. It is a completely different game now, completely different optics when you're talking about Biden visiting in the midst of a presidential or a prime ministerial campaign here, as we're going to see coming up in Israel.
And Mike, talking about optics, when one looks at the situation globally, Israel looking so politically unstable, 5 elections in under 4 years, what does it look like from abroad?
Chaos, the banana republic. You know, there's tremendous instability. Something else that needs to be noted, though, in the thick of this last year, when it looked like there was at least some working government, some functioning government for the first time in a while in Israel, the ambassador to Israel from the U.S., Tom Nides, and other U.S. officials went out of their way to say, hey, we really like this government. We really enjoy working with this government. This is a good government. They said it over and over again on the record, and it wasn't by accident. They really had an affinity for this government and what they thought it represented, which partially was not Benjamin Netanyahu, which makes the visit all the more awkward at this point in how Biden is going to try to frame things. So if you thought the Saudi Arabia visit and the MBS visit and the meeting with MBS was going to be awkward, this takes on a little bit of that as well here. It'll be really interesting to see how a White House that likes to stick to protocol as much as possible plays things forward going from here.